Hello. Hi. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Wait, why is it this now? Was it this last time? No, it wasn't this last time. I don't think. But yeah. Anyways, good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. We are back with more the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We had just finished the investigation part 1 apparently, and we're on to part 2 now. And so let's get started. Let's continue. Let's continue. I am not gonna lie. I'm addicted to this game because when I ended, I'm like, man, I want to keep playing. And yeah, I woke up, I'm like, man, I want to keep playing. So we'll see. Oh yes, so we were just talking to the person next door to Kazuma's cabin, who was pretending to be a man, but was actually a ballerina, and she has just been called by the captain, and we got kicked out of her room. Wish we had to be thrown out like that. I wish we managed to find some clues as to what that speckled band might be. We didn't manage to investigate at all. And I imagine that we won't be able to for a while longer. We'll never get past that sailor guarding the door. He's clearly glaring at us as if to say, don't even think about it. Oh, wait a minute. What is it? Well, what happened to our great detective friend? Where did he go? Oh, yes, he's completely disappeared. When did he do that? He slipped away as quietly as the wind, but not before ensuring these were securely back on my wrist. Well, okay. Really wish we had a chance to look around at Lovo's cabin. What? Why you look like that? You want something? Huh? Maybe you want me to throw you out again, hmm? Oh, no. Definitely not that. Next time I have to throw you out, I'll show you where lobsters spend winter. Understand? I understand. Uh-oh. Maybe I should steer clear of him until he's forgotten my face. So, that's toast. I don't think he'll ever forget your face, Naruto-san. Jeez. First class cabin. Not our cabin. Yeah, we were this last time. Your combination finds the wardrobe inside the cabin. You know how to make the stowaway feel small, don't you? Small as the wardrobe. Home. Anyway. Oh, I wonder if it, oh, this is good. I wonder if Inspector Hosonaga has managed to uncover any new clues. Yes, we should probably find him and ask. Okay. Looks like they're still investigating in here. Yes, on that subject. I wonder if Inspector Hosonaga is unscathed. What do you mean, unscathed? Surely you haven't forgotten, have you, Naruto-san, what he said? That you remember what he said about allowing you out of this cabin to investigate? He was going to talk to the captain about it. He said he'd lay his life on the line for you. Oh, yes. But I'm sure he was exaggerating. Let's see what he has to say for himself. He might have some new information for us. You never know. Oh, there he is. Uh-oh, oh my gosh. He got beat up. You're back. Inspector, what happened to you? Your face is... Please, don't worry about it. It just scratches. Made by a bear, maybe. When I told the captain that I'd given you permission to investigate, he told me he'd pummel me with his fist and then toss me overboard. What? but the pummeling was over in a flash, and he must have decided against throwing me overboard. So there was nothing, really. It looks like he wasn't joking when he said he'd lay his life on the line if he had to. You're a real one. Well, thanks to your efforts, we now know a little more about the neighboring cabin. Yes, so I understand. Oh, he knew already. I bumped into a man claiming to be a great detective a little while ago. I think his name was something like Sherlock Holmes. I don't think he was a German. He was German. Oh. That explains it. Shall we compare notes then? We can tell you what we found out. Yes, let's do it. What? Nikolina Pavlova. She's in the cabin next door? Oh, do you know who she is? Please, what self-respecting ballet fan wouldn't know that graceful angel? Oops, I think I upset him there. Well, that tells us the neighboring cabin is unrelated to the case at least. Oh, how? Because angels don't go around committing crimes, do they? Oops, now I just definitely upset him. Inspector, has your investigation in here proved fruitful? No. If I'm honest, there's very little more I can do. Our duty is to make sure the scene is disturbed, ready to hand over to the Hong Kong police. So I'm just keeping watch here, trying not to take my eyes off the job. Trying not to. Oh, I see. There is one thing. I do have a small piece of new information for you. Oh, what? Yes, do tell us, Inspector, please. What is this new information you have for us? What is this? Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother. That's basically. It's this. The Bureau's medical officer has finished his examination of the body. I managed to obtain the report. Oh, Kazuma's post-mortem report. Kazuma-sama. So, what was the cause of death? Damage to the cervical vertebrae is what's written in the report. His neck was broken? Yes, it would seem so. There's no obvious wounds to the other signs of injury. So at first, I think they were considering poison. But it turns out they found no trace of poison in his system at all. Well, what weapon was used then? Nothing has been found as of yet, but the fact that there is no signs of a wound suggests it may have been a blunt object, something that wouldn't have left a mark. But what kind of object is that? Oh, I see. All the body's nerves run through the spine to the brain. Strong enough impact that can induce death is a possibility, and no obvious wound would be left. Or Kazuma. I have a second copy of the report. It might be useful. You're welcome to have it. Really? Are you sure? Yes, it's fine. I trust you. Ugh. After all, if I didn't trust you, I'd never have agreed to you leaving this cabin in the first place, would I? The post-mortem report. Time of death a little bit, sometime at 1 a.m. a little past 2. Oh, Mr. Solms was here, was he? Yes, he seemed to be enjoying himself a little too much as he crept about on the floor investigating. Hey, hold on. Sorry, 1 sec. Yeah, I could. But then he suddenly left. I suppose he must have become bored. Did he say anything at all? Actually, now that you mention it, yes. Just one thing, but he practically shouted it. It's shoe polish, was all he said. Shoe polish? I wonder what he meant. Shoe polish? It was when he was over there, by the piece of broken glass. Do you see? Oh, you're gonna say he must have seen, he slipped and fell? And perhaps he was talking about this brick-colored mark, do you think? Yes. That must be it. But how could Mr. Sholmes know that it's shoe polish? That leaves me cold, I'm afraid. I have no idea. So what, is it gonna be that he slipped and fell on the shoe polish and broke his neck? What is it, Susato-san? Well, Kazuma-san was wearing leather shoes with a very dark tan hue. Dark tan? A sort of dark brownish red then? Yes. A little like the color of red wine, but darker. I often prepared them for him. Oh. Does this mean that's him tripping then? That this record was made by the polish on Kazuma's shoes that they scuffed on the floor? So he tripped. That's really all I can tell you at this stage. I should return to my post. My fellow crewmen's eyes are boring into the back of my head. Yes, that might be for the best. Thank you. Poor Inspector, you look exhausted. Oh, sorry. Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, I feel terrible that I failed to protect the Sogi-san. He was my responsibility. Of course, my pain is nothing compared to yours. You were his friends. The truth is, I seem to have had a heavy head ever since I woke this morning. You too? Huh? Wait. A heavy head? That's interesting. My head is still throbbing too. Almost like they were set up. But no, but maybe but maybe it was intended for Kazuma because he doesn't like chicken, we ate it instead and we passed out, but he was supposed to be knocked out. I see. Look at this. So it really is just a beautiful color. This glass. It looks like whatever was broken clean it too. But the other half is nowhere to be seen. And then there's this brick-colored mark, which is the shoe polish, according to that brick detective you seem to know all about. I suppose it must be from Kazuma-sama's shoes. Maybe. But what I'd like to know is, how can the detective be so sure that it's shoe polish and not something else? Because he's a great detective, of course. That's hardly a reason, is it? This is where Kazuma sent his final moments writing in his diary. When whistling sound. Okay, what looks like some sort of speckled band looking at his writing, there's almost impossible to believe that he's gone. Kazuma left a valuable clue in these words. I'm sure he has to solve this mystery now. He will. Continue. So this ventilator joins Miss Pavlova's cabin. Yes, that's right. And just a few minutes before he died, Kazuma saw something emerging from it. A speckled band, as he described it. If only Miss Pavlova had been able to shed some light on that, but she seems as baffled as we were. Yes, I wonder if she's telling us everything, though. I'm not sure. I know most people aboard would say the same about me, but there was something about that that sit right with me. So what? We have to just everything. We gotta look over everything again. Okay. So it's clear that these letters were written with the ink that was somehow spilled onto the floor. And they spelled the Russian word for road. It does seem to be an ambiguous pointer to you, Naruto-san, as you were sleeping in there. But to be truly unambiguous, it should have just spelled out my name, don't you think? Yeah, why would he just say Naruhodo? Well, either way, one fact remains. It's hard to imagine that Kazuma-san would have written his last words or word in Russian. Yeah, which begs the question, who did write it? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Why would he write? These are the rules of passengers who travel aboard the vessel. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. So by bringing her pet on board, Miss Puzzle has broken the rules. So have you. We called it her friend, didn't she? Yes, although we don't know what form this friend takes as yet. I'm almost certain that whatever it is, it's inside the traveling case in her cabin. A friend. There's more to this than it seems, I think. Wait, did someone move it? All the books provided for passenger occupying this cabin, neatly arranged on the shelf. They're all over the place when we first looked around, if you remember. Oh yes, you tidied them up, didn't you? You have to look after the ship's property. Unruly behavior in the cabins leads to damage. But it really wasn't me who knocked them over. Well, anyway, I feel much better now that they're neatly lined up. I can't relax when things are untidy. Okay, these are all the same. This stuff was different. You, where did you go? Oh, sorry. I just went to the next door cabin, dude. Why? Who gave you permission for this? Well, Seaman Hosonaga did. That new Japanese wasn't. Later, I will roll him into ball and throw him in cold room. Ooh, he's gone back to guarding the door. I hope Inspector Hosonaga doesn't find himself in too much trouble on our account. He's really gone out of his way to help us, hasn't he? When we get back to Japan, we'll have to take him for a steak at Le Carnival. That could be a very long time from now, Naruhodo-san. Yeah. Okay. Oh, gone? Back outside. Ah, look, Naruhodo-san. Steven Stroganoff has gone. Wrong enough? Did she say? No, she said it right. No, she said it right. Stroganov. The burly Russian sailor who's always crossing the arms and glaring at us. All these Russian names are impossible to remember. Tra-la-la. You hear that? It sounded like someone singing. I did it the great detective way. Is that Carolyn? I know that lark-like voice. Well, never mind that now. This is a golden opportunity for us. Yes, you're right. We must seize it. Let's get inside Miss Pavlova's cabin while we can and investigate. Definitely. Before that Striggy guy, not crewman, comes back. It's Stroganoff, not Striggy Knot. Wait, let me. Oh, it's Mr. Soames. Look. Wow, you never know where he's gonna turn up next, do you? He seems to be stealing a look at something as he sings to himself. Did it? Did it? He's still singing. Do you think he hasn't noticed us? Or he's simply in extremely high spirits? Yes, there were times I'm sure you knew when the yard bit off more than it could chew. And there through it all, murder's doubt. It's lucky Herlock was about. Excuse me? I solved it all and I stood tall. I did it the great detective way. Mr. Solms! Ah! What is it? You want to fight? He wants to engage in fisticuffs. Honestly, I'm interrupting a fellow when he's singing, and I was just at the reach the climactic finish. I think he was singing a version of My Way. Sorry, I thought you were never gonna stop, so I figured now is as good a time as any. And he immediately dropped you to fort with one of my famous right hooks. Good, my good man. All right, I get the picture. Now, could you put those fists away? Mr. Solms, you seem to be examining something before we interrupted you. Yes, that... I was immersed in the study of the ship's log, as penned by the stockily built crewman who's usually on guard here. Oh, yes, the ship's log. And did you find out anything useful from it? Well, after 2 a.m. this morning, the majority of the entries are blank, which means that there was nothing to report. Nothing of note happened, so... Oh, my good lady. You truly are a student from the land of the rising sun. You've been utterly blinded by it. Sorry? Your logic, my boy, is inverted. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Solms? Observe the other pages and all shall be unclear. It's gonna be even when there was nothing, he still wrote in the log, but for some reason on that day specifically he didn't. It would seem the same crewman of off-Sand Century in the first-class passage, and he has almost religious practice of reporting nothing to report every half hour. Oh, he writes that in every 30 minutes? Nothing to report. Precisely, put simply, Seaman writes nothing to report when there is just that. And yet, the ship's log from last night is largely blank. He didn't even write nothing to report. You mean something must have happened? Yes, there were circumstances afoot last night, which led to the seaman being absent from his post. What kind of circumstances? What happened? That's just it. That's the million-dollar question. That remains a mystery for now, but we can be sure of something significant took place. So significant that it caused the seaman to forget his regular habit of scribbling nothing to report in the log. These are important details. I will stake my life on it. You must log the ship's log in your mental life file. The ship's... yeah. Now that deduction was worthy of a great detective. You're starting to understand my way. What my way is, I see. What makes Sherlock Holmes' brilliance. Ooh, ouch. What? What is it? Are you hurt? Oh, don't worry yourself. I seem to be afflicted with a throbbing head this morning for some reason. Nothing more. You too. Wait, everyone? Huh? You too? That's 3 people. Well, my friends, until our next encounter. He's still singing to himself. I can hear it as he wanders off down the passage. Is something wrong, Susato-san? You seem lost in thought. It's just... well, I feel the same. Sorry? My head hurts. Ever since I woke up this morning, I've had something of a headache. A sort of continuous throbbing. Oh, you too. It must, the most logical reason is the food. Oh. If Miss Pavlova isn't back yet. Susato-san. Oh, where she's gone. Hey, what are you doing? Those are her private things. There's not a moment to waste, Naruhodo-san. We must investigate as quickly as we can. I suppose you're right. For Kazuma's sake. Not just for Kazuma-sama. What do you mean? I can't be long now until we arrive at port in Hong Kong. I don't want you to be in those handcuffs when we get there. Really? We must solve this case for Naruhodo-san by ourselves if we have to. Yes, we will. Okay, so now all the books have toppled over together. Look, every single one in the same order. Do you think that's the good god of the sea, perhaps? He's toppled too, though, and exactly the same as the bookcase next door in Kazuma's cabin. Perhaps Miss Pavlova was practicing a difficult ballet pose and fell against the bookcase. I don't know. Would she really be practicing ballet on the same night she ran away from her ballet company? All right then. It must have been you who lost your temper and knocked them all over in a fit of rage. Not everything bad that happened to the ship is because of me, you know. Well, anyway, I'll set them all straight again in here too. I don't like seeing things in disarray. Nice, less tracks that we're here. Naruhodo-san, are you there? Sorry, I'm right here. Yes, why? Oh, good. I thought you might have climbed into the wardrobe when I wasn't looking. There's no place like home. Believe me, I don't have some strange compulsion to jump inside every wardrobe I see, you know? Well, anyway, I'm not sure anyone can fit inside this one. It's full of beautiful outfits. I suppose they're all stage costumes. I'm rather hoping we might find Miss Pavlova's friend hiding in there, but no such luck. Okay. I wonder what this little saucer is doing on the floor. Yes, it doesn't look like it's been dropped. It's more like it was put there deliberately. Ah, you think there could be a leak in the roof just above here? What? A leak? Is this ship quite safe? I'm sure that even if there's a little leak in the roof, it doesn't mean the whole ship is going to sink. No, you're right. Of course you're right. She's really trying to persuade herself, isn't she? I suppose every cabin has a waste paper basket. Shall we have a little look and see what's been thrown away? Naruhodo-san, it's poor etiquette to go sifting through someone's rubbish, you know? Ah, those eyes. She's looking at me like I'm a piece of rubbish now. However, these are special circumstances, I think. Exactly, we have no choice. There's hardly anything in here at all. Oh, well, that's a little disappointing. There are just a few books on the desk. Nothing else about the looks of it. Oh, Miss Pavlova only ran away from the ballet last night. She's hardly occupied this cabin for any time at all. That's true. I wonder what kind of books she likes to read. Let me see. Yes, I see. I see that Miss Pavlova enjoys reading books written in Russian. Thanks. I think I probably already knew that. It's rude to ask too much of people, Naruhodo-san. Kindly remember that. Oh my, Miss Pavlova's case is open. It's completely empty inside, but according to the great detective's great deduction, she was hiding her special friend in here. Yes, a friend that she had to keep secret, because you're not allowed to bring animals aboard the ship. That's his Brira. I wonder what kind of animal she had in there. And more to the point, where is it now? Not there. Where could it? It would seem this teapot is empty. Hmm. A natural conclusion that the Russians are very thirsty people. Or because Miss Pablo only came in just the cabin last night, he hasn't had a chance to make any tea yet. I mean, it could be either. It's definitely that they're excessively thirsty. I laid 1,000 to 1 on it. You're rather obstinate, aren't you, Naruto-san? What do you want about? This ventilator connects to Kazuma's cabin next door. Yes, although what a foolish shipbuilder must be to open the ventilator into another room. Maybe. It's so that there's a gas next door. The occupant of the cabin not notice and raise the alarm. Or the occupants of both cabins would die of gas poisoning. That is a possibility. Anyway, last night Kazuma wrote that he saw a speckled band coming out of this ventilator. The snake. Huh? Ah, what's that? It's the alarm. That's a ship alarm. Shut down the engines immediately. Vessel sighted at a quarter mile 4. Full stop. Hard to the starboard. All hands brace for impact. Uh-oh. What the? Oh, you think that's what happened? They hit something last night, but since they were asleep, they hit their heads, and that's what they hurt. What? I can't stand. Susato-san, hold on to me. Wah! Susato-san, are you alright? Are you injured at all? I think I'm fine. Thank you, Naruto-san. It looks like we avoided a collision. I think... Yes, the ship has come to a stop. Oh my goodness. What about you, Naruto-san? Are you hurt? No, I'm fine. Hello? Look! Hello? Is anybody in there? Shout if you need assistance. Oh, that sounds like... Inspector Hosonaga. Is that you in there? Oh, you see? When the ship stopped, the auto closed the door. Is that you in there? Naruto-san, unbolt the door quickly. What? The bolt? Yeah, the bolt is on. Look at that. The door is bolted. Did you do that, Susato-san? No, I didn't touch it. Well, that's strange. How did... Fine. But look at all these books. They're just like they were before again. Naruto-san, aren't you going to open the door and let the inspector in? I better tidy this place up first. Our violent emergency staff had solved one mystery at least, in a very vivid way. But I knew that what awaited us on the other side of the cabin door would not be pleasant. I hurried around tidying up the cabin with a new sense of foreboding in my heart. Uh-oh, yeah. To be continued. We were at Miss Pavlova's cabin. Somehow, the doors to the cabin we were in ended up bolted after we made an emergency stop. Susato-san took a deep breath and gently slid back the bolt. You! What are you doing, Miss Pavlova's quarters? Ah, you both look unhurt. Good. Yes, we were fine, thank you. What on earth happened? We heard something about how we were going to collide with another ship. Yes, it appears to have been a false report, though. Oh, how did that happen? There's a dense fog outside, so it's really difficult to see. Someone must have thought he saw a ship ahead. This person obviously triggered the alarm, and that's why we made an emergency stop. Everything is chaos. Passengers are screaming. Crews are running everywhere. This first class area is the only quiet part of the ship at the moment. Oh, I see. Somehow triggered. Someone triggered the alarm. Does that mean that someone pressed the button outside? Ah, you wicked intruder, dressed all in black. You are the devil. I'm sorry? Me? I've been called a lot of things before, but that devil is a first. You opened my traveling case. How could you? What? No, we didn't touch it. That's right, Miss Pavlova. It was already open when we came into your cabin. Inspector. Yes? Arrest this man. I know he did it. He is a criminal. It's not enough that he has killed a man. Is it not enough that he has killed a man? Da! And he's a stowaway as well. If Vixen promises not to steal chicken, do you believe? Take him away. He's a trespasser as well as everything else. Stowing away, trespassing, killing. She is right. You are a devil. It doesn't look good, does it? There's cell below deck. Throw him in. Tomorrow we dock in Hong Kong. Then we give you straight to police. Wait, a cell? Please, Inspector Hosonaga, is there nothing you can do? This is a Russian vessel. I really have no jurisdiction here. After my last effort to appeal to the captain's good nature, I think I'm out of options. This is terrible. This is a real crisis. I've got to find a solution immediately. Do I have something that could get her to relax? Miss Palova, can I get out? Listen, I'm sorry that we stuck in here without your permission, but get out now. The investigator here to help understand what happened to you. No use. He's not going to listen. Please, just give me a little more time. I do nothing for you, except for you await the ship's prison cell. Thanks, but no thanks. But I'm innocent. I didn't kill anyone. And trespassing and stowing away? Well, you know, sometimes life can lead you down some unusual avenues, and well, enough. You are guilty. Ship's cell is only a place fit for you. Come on, there has to be someone. There's gotta be a thing. What's his face? You've got yourself into a difficult situation here. By entering this cabin uninvited, I mean. Sorry, I was just so desperate to find a clue. I'm afraid there's really nothing more I can do to help you. If I push my luck any further, a punch to the face will be the least of my worries. I'm really sorry. I have to take responsibility for giving you the freedom to investigate Miss... I have to take the responsibility for giving you the freedom to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin. Now this has happened, I have to report to the captain once. I really need some help here. I need a savior to rescue me from this crisis. Oh, I know what it's gonna be. I just need to keep calm and focus on the task at hand. Just investigate. Don't touch my things. You want me to show you where their crawfish hibernate? Yeah. Mr. Naruhodo, what do you think you're doing? Wow, everyone's a dude. They hate me. Everyone's attacked me. I was just starting to think she was my friend. Is there anyone who can help me out of this mess? Okay. Oh. Yeah, just perfectly unafraid. Hey, Herlock. What are you doing up there? Mr. Sholm? Naturally. I was analyzing what a weight of 20,000 rubles feels like on one's head. I have not told you that as a detective. It is my business to know what other people do not. This isn't mere tomfoolery, my boy. Oh, no. Well, why were you hanging from that hook before that? Isn't it obvious? You probably assess the weight of 20,000 rubles, naturally. I wish to determine if it would bend that conceited looking. I wish to determine if it would bend that conceited looking hook on the walls, so full of brag and bounce. I never know whether to take the man seriously or not. You again, the great detective. Inspector, I confess I've been looking for you. I have something to report to you most urgently. Well, you might try looking for me somewhere other than a hook on the wall next time. What is it to report? Speak! An urgent report from a great detective can mean but one thing. Yes. The case of the curious murder that took place last night here on this vessel, the steamship Berea, has been solved. By me, naturally. What? Really? Yes, I have eliminated all other possibilities. No other explanations exist. So, allow me to illuminate all your minds. For I am about to reveal my great detectives greatly and my great deduction to this case. Uh-oh, here we go. Ah, you have solved it? Edwin Hedgehog understands this case. We all knew who was responsible for killing student boy this morning when we found criminal in wardrobe. It is the stowaway, and he has handcuffs to prove it. I didn't do it. The trouble is, there doesn't appear to be anyone else who could have killed the victim. Because as everyone knows, the cabin door was bolted shut from the inside. When they got there, that means the culprit must be someone who was inside the cabin. Yes. This is what they call a locked room mystery in the detective story. Yeah, lock the room. That is the point. The room was locked? Well, I can't deny that. There is no way the bolt could have become drawn from outside the cabin. Yes, there is. You're all quite mistaken. The cabin next door is not a so-called locked room at all. Yeah, it only became locked after the fact. What? Oh yes, there is another entrance. The entrance used last night by the culprit in order to gain access to the cabin despite the bolted door. What other entrance? We never discovered one. Why, it gapes open mouth at you even as we speak. The ventilator, man. The ventilator. You think this is funny? I can't even put my arm through that hole. That's because your arms are thick as tree trunks. You're suggesting that the culprit entered and left the victim cabin through the tiny opening? It's not possible. Ah, but it is. And last night, the victim even witnessed the intruder in the act of passing through the ventilator. Oddly silent. Mr. Sholmes, did you mean that speckled band? Are you referring to the words Kazuma wrote in his diary? 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Precisely, my dear madam. But what does it mean? What is a speckled band? The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin. Mr. Sholmes? What are you doing? There is a distinct element of danger, but fear not, I am ready. What I'm about to expose for you all to see will shock you to your cores. Behold! Yeah! Ah, what the? It's a snake. Short enough. Allow me to introduce you to all to the brand. The speckled band. A snake? Indubitably. Mr. Sholmes, just one thing. Pray, what troubles you? Well, that snake isn't really speckled, is it? It looks more stripy, wouldn't you say? Yes, you're right. I don't think in this case you'd have to call it a stripy band. A striped band. Wouldn't you? I guess you're right. You both see and observe with distinction. However, do you not think that is precisely the trap into which the culprit wishes you to fall? My goodness, really? Is it a trap? How exactly? I think perhaps at this time I explained the intricacies of my train of thought. Are you ready, Miss Pavlova? I'm sorry for the young man who died, but that is all. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. There are two conclusions I have drawn from the facts. Number one, Last night, your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin. Ah. And number 2, that same friend was responsible for the victim losing his life. No. His turn was white as a bowl of rice again. Someone must be right. He hit the nail on the head. This young woman's friend killed Mr. Osoki? We can't hear what you're saying, man. It looks like he can't speak with that sneaker fold around his head. I would advise as little movement as possible, Steven. You wouldn't want that fangs that the long friend in your neck. So everyone, let us begin. Sherlock Holmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. The great deduction. The game is afoot. Intruder's identity. Conclusion. Ms. Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing is nothing to do with me. I can't snap with my other hand. I can't do it. Hold on, let me I'll reposition. Yeah, you cannot deceive yourself. Oh, she's holding it because it bit her. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. And is that very pain that evidence is your... Wait, does it come through? Hold on, let me see. It does, okay. The evidence is your inextricable link to the victim's death. So, we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. Yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observation on the right night in question tell of a speckled band, whereas regrettably, this specimen's marking does not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we give them, pray? What was the sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? Uh-oh. No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Yes, that which you're trying but failing to conceal can only be the snake's slowed skin. Oh, it's shed. Evidently, after the subtle and horrible crime, this most deadly friend of yours shed its original skin. No? I don't know what you're talking about. Last night, through the ventilator visible in this cabin, your then speckled friend slithered next door, using the bell cord on the other side as a bridge. The serpent silently descended into the victim's quarters. In the dim light, it appeared to the young gentleman who was about to lose his life as a speckled band. In summary, the nature of this friend of yours, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a rare breed of the snake, whose markings change each time it explodes its skin. A snake so dreadful, we can only imagine it would be found in the deepest depths of India. Oh, so that's only topic 1. Oh my god. Topic 2. How Mr. Osoki died. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter, the grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life? Why? According to the data which I have been apprised, it would appear there was no visible signs of injury. Ah. In fact, the sickness as to the victim's death can only be explained by terrible venom. But they said they identified any traces of poison. Now, if you think this is fact, you can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime. Oh no, could there be? Yes, an examination of the deceased body will prove the cause of death conclusively. The almost but not quite imperceptible puncture wounds left by the venomous fangs will seal the truth. Yes, the vestiges of a snake delivered by your terrifying friend. This makes no sense. Because they think it's not a poisonous thing. There's no point in feigning ignorance, Miss Pavlova. After all, after the incident, you endeavored to hide everything, didn't you? But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you choose. That's right. You hid the evidence of the victim's death in that traveling case. When we first met in this cabin, it came to my attention that your case moved periodically. Your serpent assassin was breathless inside. You doubt? You don't. It is telling that the victim made a note of losing the low whistling that he heard minutes before his end. That was your signal, was it not? The time you had used to become your serpent friend. Oh, to rain. Indeed, you put the serpent through this ventilator and wait. After a period, you summon it back with a whistle. You couldn't know if the animal had done its duty, so you would listen to the sounds of life next door. If the victim appeared not to have been dispatched, you'd release the snake once more. Do you deny that the snake hasn't undergone such training? It's not true. If having slithered through the ventilator and down the bell cord, the creature needed only to sink its fangs in once. And its venom would course through the victim's veins, ending its existence forever. That is the true nature of the speckled band that took the poor young man's life. There can be no doubt. My logic is infallible. No. That was even more wrong than the tutorial one. This concludes Sherlock Holmes' great detection of the speckled band. Nah, dude, that's wrong. That was so wrong. Everyone like, Miss Pavlova has trained her pet snake as a killing machine. There on the floor, you will serve a saucer of milk. The promise of food is the key to training any creature. Snakes don't drink milk, man. And incredible, you solved the mystery. Amazing, your great detection really lives up to his name. I see now why Sherlock Holmes has become just a household name. Guys, my dear man, there was nothing remarkable. As the Russians say, I could have done it with one left hand. Could I venture an opinion, Mr. Sholmes? But of course, what's on your mind? It's just about your deductions before. Some things don't quite make sense to me. I welcome questions as to my method, and will answer both loudly and proudly. Oh, well, good. First of all, snakes are egg-laying creatures, part of the reptile family. They don't produce milk of any sort. You are well informed, madam. And reptiles don't drink milk. Ah. There's really only mammals that like to drink milk, you see? So I'm not sure it would possibly be possible to train a snake to using milk as a reward. No matter. No doubt Miss Pavlova will use some other treat to encourage her pet to do her bidding. Milk was merely an example of logic holds. Well, there is something else. Snakes have no ears. Ah. Yes, so I'm not sure it would really be possible to signal. Well, hold on. I think is that right? I'm pretty sure they have use. Yeah, they don't have an external ear. They have an inner ear. But they can hear, but not like as well as we can. They don't have. They do it through vibrations. Okay, I thought that was. I'm pretty sure that's wrong. Yeah, so I'm not really because the snake charmers use. But madam, what are the tales of Arabia? Yeah, snake charmers. Have you not heard the snakes that dance to the sound of a flute? Yeah, I think perhaps the performers play their music in time with the snake's natural movement. Oh, I see. No hands, no feet, no ears. These creatures are so inept as to be practically useless. Don't take it out on the snakes, man, Mr. Sholmes. There is one other thing. You have more? Snakes use the scales on their bellies to propel themselves. So, I'm not really sure that a snake can manage to climb up a flat belt cord like the ones in these cabins. Then it should try harder. Please, don't be angry with me, Mr. Sholmes. The point is, even if the snake had gone through the ventilator to the next door cabin, it couldn't have come back without help. What I'm trying to say is that there are a number of reasons why it's difficult to imagine a snake could have had a part in this. Oh no! Detection crushed. Oh. I think we need to step in and help again, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh no, you don't mean... Yes, we need to modify Mr. Sholmes' latest detections and turn them into the great ones they ought to be. I had a feeling that wasn't coming. Alright, let's give it a try. Just what I was waiting for. Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, right. Let's go! So cast your eyes down to your wrist again? What? You've done it again. Your handcuffs are gone. Where did they go? Fear not, I shall see they're restored after our work is done. I really wish you'd leave them off. Now, everyone, let us begin. Sherlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Now hold on. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Below Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed to follow me. His death has nothing to do with me. The whole thing has nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart weighs with pain. That's wrong. It looks like her hand hurts. She does have the pained expression on her face. Yes, that's true. It looks as though Kazuma sounded death weighing on her heavily on her mind, like she knows. But you're not sure Mr. Sholmes has read her quite correctly, is that it? Could there be some other way to interpret her expression then? Let's take a moment and really look closely at Miss Pavlova. Aha! Got scratched. Oh, Naruhodo-san, look. That looks like a very painful wound. It looks like a scratch made by some kind of small animal, and a fairly recent one too. Well, whatever scratched her doesn't appear to be around here.
Yes!
Yes! Yes, when you recall those horrid events, the claw smarts with pain. Indeed, a simple observation reveals that the wound is fresh. Miss Pavlova, did you in fact receive that scratch? Sometime last night? Ah. When I think about it, the young man who died next door, I feel so sad. And when I am sad, the pain from this wound is worse. And is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death? So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was a friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Look, she's looking somewhere else. Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend Is the writhing serpent we must see before us. No, it's not. It seems likely that the scratch on the back of Miss Pavlova's hand was made by this friend of hers, doesn't it? Except snakes don't have claws, do they? No, they don't. They don't even have hands or feet, or which the claws might grow. Well then. If that snake isn't her pet, what is? That's the true identity of this friend of hers. We should follow her gaze naturally, Naruto-san. That's where we'll find the answer. Yeah, it's not a snake. The snake is a thing. It's what's behind the dude. Oh, it's a cat. Oh, the bell is her necklace. The cat. Did he trip over the cat? Look at the photograph in this frame. This must be something that Miss Palua bought with her when she ran away. She's exceptionally beautiful, isn't she? That's true. But personally, it's the little black creature she's holding that caught my eye. Maybe we better take a closer look at this. Look at the little cat Miss Pavlova was cuddling here. Hold on. 1 sec. Oh, I have to watch that later. Nope, not that. Wait. Okay, sorry. Look at the little cat Miss Pavlova's cuddling here. Oh, what a cute little kitten. I could fly with you, put in it, Naruto-san, with the blackest outfit. A black kitten. And from the look of it, this picture at least, Miss Pavlova seems very attached. It's the cat.
Yes!
The server must be his pet. Without doubt, your friend is the little kitten we see before us. Yes, the scratch on the back of your hand makes that abundantly clear. Oh no. The whereabouts of the black kitten isn't clear, but what's clear is that you brought the animal with you when you ran away, didn't you? Ah! Darka is my best friend. I couldn't leave her behind. Darka would appear to be Russian. He would be a Russian blue. And yet, the fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observation on the night in question tell of a speckled band. Whereas, regrettably, this specimen's marking do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we then give, pray? What was the sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? No, don't look at me. It has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, but it does. You have an answer to his quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Yes, this back which you're trying to hide but failing to conceal can only be the snake's slowed skin. Nope. Did you see that? She just took something out of her pocket and hid it from behind her back. She just left it in her pocket. No one would have ever known. Oh yes, his clothes like that are Mr. Stone's specialty. He ever so cleverly forced me to reveal something. I thought that was a specialty, or maybe making me believe that it was a boy too. Anyway, I find it hard to believe that's the skin of a snake. In which case, just what is Miss Pavlova hiding behind her back? Oh, it's oh, what? It's speckled and it is a band, but what is it? It seems to be some sort of soft and fluffy, a long piece of cloth of some sort. That looks like a handle at one end. I think it may be a cat's toy. This sort is common in the West apparently. How is that a toy for cats? Cats have to face chase the band around and paw at it. Little kittens in particular love that sort of play. You only need to wave it in front of them, and they pounce to catch it. That sounds positively adorable.
Yes!
Yes! The thing you're trying, but failing to conceal is, a cat's toy. Precisely, and the true nature of the now infamous spectral band. Ah. And it was this toy that you dangled through the ventilator. Oh. You waved it around, I presume. Naturally, the victim could not fail to notice it. But how should we reach their butt? But why? For what reason? My dear boy, there can only be one answer to that. After her feline friend disappeared through the ventilator into the neighboring cabin, Miss Pavlova intended to use a speckled cat toy to set the creature to return. Oh, ah. In summary, the nature of this friend of Miss Pavlova's, which was last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, was a blithesome Russian blue breed of cat by the name of Darka. Ah! A truly troublesome feline that Darka was proven to be. She must be caged once found. You will forgive us for borrowing the photograph of your pet, Miss Pavlova. Yeah, we added the court record. It was after I gave her food last night, but that's when it happened. She scratched the back of my hand and then ran up the spell cord. Before I could do anything, she had disappeared through the ventilator. Darka, she is so naughty. Kitten. Beloved kitten. How he died. This is once for all the marbles. Now, moving on, we come to the heart of the matter, the grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life? Why? According to the data of which I've been surprised, it would appear to have there no visible signs of entry. Oh, but I get it. She went in looking for him, but when she went in, he was dead. So, since she only knows Russian, she wrote, yeah, okay. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by terrible venom. Nope. Mr. Soames says is true. There were no signs of a wound or anywhere on Kazuma's body. That's right. But Mr. Soames seems to be unaware of one very important detail. Kazuma wasn't poisoned. Yes, it would seem so. Just given the information he's missing out now. Oh, he doesn't have the thing, yeah.
Yes!
In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by the post-mortem report. Yes, I knew it was one or the other. Huh? His neck was... Oh, she already knew. Indeed, breaking of the cervical vertebrae is fatal. Only that Goliath would be strong enough to survive that. Seaman stroke and others is some immortal freak, you know. The jury is out. Anyway, we have on good authority that the victim's neck was broken. Now, if we take that as fact, you can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm that at the scene of the crime. Oh no, could there be? Yes, an examination of the deceased's body will prove it. Kazuma died because his neck was broken. In other words, he was probably struck by something. Oh my gosh, it is going to be that he tripped and fell and just landed badly. Or he was probably struck by something or someone. Yes, that's a distinct possibility. As of yet, no weapon has been found though. Presumably Darka did the silent keep up behind Kazuma to deal him a fatal blow. I suppose it's possible that he had a fall and hit the ground awkwardly. It could have been a terrible act of misfortune that he broke his neck completely by accident. Oh, yes. A bad fall could explain it. It's rather hard to believe Kazuma's someone believe that didn't believe a Kazuma who was the clumsy man. Well, we need to fix this deduction somehow. Is there anything to see that can explain what happened? Yeah, we have it. I think it's this.
Yes.
Marker on floor. You tripped. Yes, an examination of the mark on the floor will prove the cause of death conclusively. This particular mark is so commonly visible next to the victim's body. It's the deposit of shoe polish. Shoe polish? Indeed, positively identified by a little analysis device I constructed, which I carry now as a matter of course. Beeswax, tallow, and dye were the right results. The undeniable ingredients of shoe polish. And the color of the polish is the perfect match to the color of Mr. Asogi's face and other shoes. Looking at this mark, it's not hard to imagine what happened. For some reason, Mr. Asogi must have had his foot on the point of the floor and tripped. Please, no. And by a dreadful turn of misfortune, caught his neck against some immovable object as he fell to the floor. Suffering a fatal blow to the spine. The victim's vertebrae shattered, and that instant he lost his life. No! That's what I'm saying, bro. I don't know. I don't know anything about this. Is that really true, Miss Pavlova? What about the evidence left at the scene where Mr. Sophie has lost his life? Yes, the facts are as clear as day to me. You did all you could to conceal the incriminating evidence. The empty waste bin, now your involuntary cleanse betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right. You hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in the trafficking case. Nope. That's wrong. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama merely tripped over and now he's no more? It can't be true. I refuse to accept it. I know it's hard to believe, but the mark on the floor that seems to suggest that's what happened. But, and if this part of Mr. Stone's deduction is right, Miss Pavlova is trying to hide some evidence that would prove it. Here in this cabin, somewhere in this direction, as she just cast her eyes. Where? I wonder. Let's have a good look around. And then the answer must be somewhere. It's not a thing, it's the waste bag. This is the waste paper basket. Perhaps all the first class cabin have. Miss Bravo only started occupying this cabin last night. Presumably there's not much rubbish in there yet. Oh, what's that? It's a broken piece of glass, isn't it? Yes, it is. And I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. Looks at it, perhaps it's more than your mind playing. Perhaps it's more than your mind simply playing tricks on you. Oh, got it.
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, I'm back. That's right, you hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that waste paper basket. Ah, I really should have thrown that out somewhere else. We have a fragment of some intricate glass object. Let's see, one that has a familiar air, in fact. Precisely, we found another piece of broken glass on the floor in Miss Asogi's cabin. Mr. And as you can see, the two pieces fit together perfectly. Oh no. So, Miss Pavlova, shall we consider what this tells us? Why would it be that part of the glass object, which was evidently broken at the scene of the victim's death, should be found in a waste paper basket in your cabin? Because you went in there. You're well acquainted with this glass bell, are you not? I don't know. And that hush Russian accent of yours won't save you now. Save you this time, dear girl. Why? because we have conclusive evidence linking you to the bell in question. What? Take it away, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes. The evidence linking Miss Pavlova and the little glass bell. That would be the picture. See it in here.
Yes.
If you look at this photograph, you can clearly see, hanging from the Darka's collar, the very glass bell in question. The truth has caught up with you, Miss Pavlova. The young man who lost his life last night did so after a truly inauspicious fall. And the cause of that faithful stumble must have been the cat. Your absent feline friend, Darka. Hold on, I accidentally clicked that up. I couldn't tell anyone. I'm sorry. Death by tripling over. Deduction complete. Elementary. Why don't you tell us now, Miss Pavlova? Tell us exactly what happened last night. It was a little after 1 in the morning. It was so late, but I hadn't had time to feed Darka, so I gave her some food. And then, all of a sudden, she scratched me and jumped out of my hands. People do say that cats are very anxious and nervous in new environments. Yes. She was so fast, she disappeared through the ventilator before I could stop her. And that is how you acquired the rather nasty wound on the back of your hand, I take it. Yes. And I had read the rules on the wall, and I knew that I was not allowed Darka with me. Yes, modern science suggests that animals can carry infectious diseases. It's a precaution, really. So I listened and listened, trying to hear if there was some noise in the next cabin. And then she heard a poof. It was very quiet. I was sure if someone was there, he must be sleeping. So at that point, you thought it safe to try and lure the kitten back? Oh, the speckle, yes, by dangling the thing to the ventilator and the adjoining cabin. Darka always loved this toy, but it didn't work. Nothing worked. I tried using her favorite toy. I tried whistling to her softly, but nothing. She didn't return. So the faint whistling sound Kazuma wrote about in his diary was Miss Pavlova trying to retrieve her pet. Cats have a propensity to remain hidden in the shadows when frightened. Yes, so there was nothing else I could do. I just had to wait until she had calmed down. By then... Oh no. I nearly passed out with shock. I heard her cry out, and then it was such a dreadful bang. And afterwards, nothing. It was totally silent. Kazuma was... Oh dear. From the appearance of the brown mark on the floor, it seems likely that what you heard was the victim stepping on the glass bell and tripping up, or stepping on the cat. That Siberia is a large vessel, but even she can pitch and roll violently without warning. If Mr. Slicker was really off balance as a result of the ship lurching when the kitten got under his feet. The combination of unfortunate factors could easily have caused him to fall over. No way. No way. But what became of the kitten afterwards? In the end, I managed to get her to come back through the ventilator. Yet Darka is nowhere to be seen. I must have forgotten to lock my case. Now she's disappeared again. Gracious, that cat is as stuffily restless as I am. Well, he knows something about himself at least. When I woke this morning, I heard that a young man in the cabin next to mine had died. but I couldn't bring myself to tell anyone what had happened. I was too scared. Scared that they would send me back. Uh oh, hold on a minute. What about the snake? You're right. Where is it? If the snake isn't your friend, Miss Pavlova, then whose is it? And where did it come from? Oh, what on earth is such a oh, it's his, obviously. Yeah. What on earth is such a dangerous creature doing on board the ship? Oh, I didn't say? Snake is my friend. His name is I'm not gonna Puro. Hmm? What? What? Hero, that snake belongs to you? Yes. He escaped from the cage when the emergency alarm sounded. I was looking for him. I did not expect to find him in here. Yes. How did that snake get into this cabin? It was locked. Yeah. When did it get in? But animals are not permitted on board. Ha! We are at sea for 1 year. You want to be so long without close friend, without someone who understands? Couldn't you find someone a little more human who understands you better? But my dear burly fellow, a gargantuan and venomous snake. Surely you can appreciate the danger you're putting everyone in. It's not venomous. No venom. Be sure it does not have venom. He is harmless, very long but very gentle. He is adorable, like if venomless? Yes. Now he is hungry, so he is in bad mood. But once I feed him, you will see big smile. And you feed him what? Milk, I suppose? Ha! Like they say, milk. Like they say they milk chickens? Ridiculous. Snakes that drink milk are only in stupid stories. Piro eats mouses, big fat round mouses. Oh. So, is that what the mousetrap in the passageway out there is for? Of course. How else can I catch my friend's favorite food? Nothing says top of the food chain. Look in their eyes right now. It refuses to drink milk. It can't hear a whistle. It can't climb up a bell cord, and it's not even venomous. What the hell? And he's like, what the hell kind of snake is this? How did the deuce did something so inept land a starring role? It's not my fault. I do not make up stories. My Piro has nothing to do with this incident. So that's what happened. That's the truth behind my best friend's tragic death. He tripped and fell. That's a hard pill to swallow. He just tripped and fell. But there's still some things that don't make sense. If it wasn't her who wrote wardrobe, then who did? Yeah, there's still some unanswered questions, like, and the ringing of the alarm bell. It must have happened last night too. That's how everything was messed up. So there's still questions to be left unanswered. Miss Pavlova, I understand the difficult situation you've found yourself in, and I do sympathize. But please remember this. A young man lost his life. If you're going to attempt to cover your guilt with lies, then no matter what the circumstances, I cannot forgive you. But what are you talking about, Miss Mikotoba? What lies? Miss Pavlova just confessed everything. No, there's some things you know. It was just a series of unfortunate events, an accident. Yeah, no, there's some things that don't make sense. Like I said before, I'm no great detective like Mr. Soames. I don't have a gift for knowing the truth, but everything I can see that was not the truth. Don't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes. To be perfectly honest, yes. There's a discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure of it. I just can't quite put my finger on it. Yeah, she must have went in. Yeah, she must have went in the room. I confess, I was intending to let Scotland Yard deal with any outstanding issues of this matter. Oh. I am only present here for a very specific reason. The truth is, you, Mr. Naruhodo, are simply a distraction. Oh! Yeah, we're once again the fall guy. A distraction? I do hope you're not been finding your shackles too uncomfortable. Ah, Not again. When did he do that? Especially as they are only on your wish as a result of my intervention. I was rather hoping I could resolve matter before we made our next port call. You were Mr. Sholmes? You were. Yes, but I overlooked one important detail. The deceased young man was a very close companion of yours. Was he not? Yes. Yes. Kazuma was my closest friend. I owed him my freedom even. In that case, we must follow this to its conclusion. No further distractions. We must uncover the real truth here, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, whatever that may be. The key to this is the discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure. If I can chase that down, maybe the truth will become clear. Kazuma. The truth about how you really died. About how that scene in your cabin really came to be. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo. So then, shall we begin? Yes. What we should ponder first is what happened in here. Is the victim who lost his life in a cabin that was bolted shut from the inside. Was this truly an unfortunate accident? Or was it in fact no accident at all? This is what we must establish in the first instance. But we already established it, haven't we? The man tripped over a kitten and had climbed into his cabin via the ventilator. Tragic, yes, but still an accident. No. Wait, let's just take a step back. It doesn't make sense if that's really what happened, does it? I'm going to have to ask you to spell out for me, I'm afraid. Yes, it's starting to take shape now. There's a clear contradiction between the facts and Miss Pavlova's story here. The evidence is right there in Kazuma's cabin. It's undeniable. His death couldn't possibly have been a mere accident. Really? That'll show you our hand, Mr. Naruhodo. Time to present the evidence. The evidence that proves it, especially that the victim's death was no mere accident. Hold on. I think it's the fact that it's... I think it's the fact that the message, the written message is like that's not an accident.
Yes.
The truth is clearly recorded in this picture. There's no way that Mr. Sogi could have left this message on the floor. That script is Russian, isn't it? And he is not Russian. Indeed, it is. The word written means wardrobe. I see what you mean. Most people would leave a dying message in their native tongue language, Japanese in this case. But maybe he was studying Russian. No, it's a simple language. He could have picked it up on a very... It is not. That is not true. That doesn't seem likely. That's actually not the point. It makes no difference whether he knew Russian or not. Sorry? What do you mean? Exactly what I said before. There's no way that Mr. Sogi could have left this message on the floor. The reason why is clearly explained in here. He died instantly, damaged to the cervical vertebrae. It was an instant death. Instant death. Ah. Yeah, so okay, so I was right. She went in the room and wrote it to make it look like an accident. Which means after the victim fell over to the floor, he couldn't have possibly have written anything because he was already dead. That's not the only reason either. There is something else we found in Mr. Sogi's cabin. A remnant of something that couldn't possibly have been there. If what Miss Pavlova told us was true. What? Those Susatos had noticed it too then. Putting this message on the floor is something else that gives away the truth. Another piece of evidence that proves that this was no accident. In other words, oh, wait a minute. I actually don't know. Wait. Wait. None of this evidence proves there was no accident. Oh, it's other words. Yeah, I think it's this.
Yes.
What point are you trying? Uh-oh. No. 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 Was it that? Wait. This?
Yes.
Yeah, he tripped. This piece of broken glass next to the mark on the floor. That's the glass bell the kitten had around its neck. We already know about that. It was broken in half when the victim tripped over the cat and fell. To already have a satisfactory explanation. Where's the flaw in that logic? Unfortunately, there is a very big flaw, a fatal flaw. What? Because that's really what happened. And how did half of the... Yes, yeah, okay, so no, like what I mentioned earlier, if he broke it in there, how did half of the bell, how's half of the damaged bell in here? Ah, yeah. Yes, remember that when we found the other half of the glass bell that was in that waste paper basket? Would you care to explain that, Miss Pavlova? You went inside. Oh no. Both these pieces of evidence clearly point to the same conclusion. You went inside. That when Mr. Osogi died last night in his cabin, you were in there. There was someone else in the room. And that same person deliberately arranged the scene to disguise the truth in order to cover up his or her own guilt. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's basically that she went in there. Yes, there was someone else present in Mr. Osogi's. You are wasting time. Someone else was there? Duh, of course. We know this. What are you talking about? Oh, it's him. He was in there. Oh, bulkhead was bolted shut through inside. There was no way in or out. Oh, yes. No, they must have. And the only other person in the cabin when youngster died was you.
Yes.
Yes. That's true. I was in the cabin when it happened. You were shut inside the cabin wardrobe, to be precise about the details. But I don't know Russian. There's no way I would have left that message. No, not would have. There's no way you could have left that message, to be precise about the details. Would you mind? Forgive me, my dear fellow. Yeah, it's with the seal on the door. It was impossible for him to get out without. There's no way it was him, as I was saying. He must. Yeah. Okay, so he helped too. The person in question wrote the word wardrobe in Russian on the floor, and in an attempt to incriminate me for the crime, even though I had been asleep in there the entire time. And then the same person picked up the broken glass glass bell that had fallen to the floor, for fear of it becoming evidence that would show how Mr. Osogi really died. And why wouldn't this person have taken all the pieces of the bell away? Leaving half behind was going to raise questions. Yes, well, it was past 1 o'clock in the early hours of the morning. The cabin would have been quite dark. Oh, that's true. A single small lamp suspended from the ceiling would have barely cast any light onto the floor there. Little wonder then that the culprit failed to notice a fragment of a tiny item. You all suspect me, don't you? Seaman Stroganoff. Nina is woman of sea. She is daughter of strong sailor. 2 years ago, they noticed her dancing skill and she went away to join ballet company. But before, he was dancer on the ship, a member of ship's band. Ah, okay, that's what it is. You do not accuse Ship Engel of being criminal. Ah, so that's it. You say that when the young student died, Nina was there in her cabin? But that is not possible. I give my tooth. Well, this is all almost interesting. And why would you give your tooth prey? How can you be so sure? You're a great detective. You should know. Door was locked. Look, truth denied. Cabin bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. Nobody could go into cabin. Not Nina, not anyone. Or you want to tell me that killer can walk through locked doors? Yeah, it's impossible. Ah, he's right. No, but wait. I've read about this in detective stories. People often tie threads around the door latches so they can open and close them from the outside. The thread? Are you stupid? These bulkheads are not barn doors. Certainly not. These are watertight doors, as one would expect to find on any modern steamship. Constructed of heavy steel with not a gap in sight. No threads or needles or magnets would have been used. No, of course not. I thought so too. But Mr. Naruhodo suggested it earlier, so... God, you... Susato-san, how could you shit it onto me like that? Though Seaman Stroganoff has a valid point. The cabin door couldn't have been bolted shut from the outside. Not necessarily. What? What? If I put it to you that it could be... I put it to you that I could bolt this cabin door without laying a finger on it. And in this very cabin, we can see the traces of the method I have in mind have been using before. I know it. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, I believe you know what I mean, don't you? And a way to shut the bolt cabin door from the outside? One way does spring to mind, yes. Do you really know what Mr. Stone's mean, Mr. Naruhodo-san? Yes, and so should you, because we've seen it happen. Indeed, we have. So, would you care to do the honors, Mr. Naruhodo-san? Why not the telling signs that was used? Is this?
Yes.
Look at the bookcase there. See how all the books and things on have toppled over? That must have happened when the ship made its emergency stop before. Yes, that's right. It's a very powerful vessel after all. When the engines are thrown into reverse, a violent jolt goes across the entire ship. Any small objects that aren't fastened down are bound to fall over. I believe, yes, is what is known as a force of inertia acting on objects. Is there nothing Susato-san doesn't know? Or that isn't in her book at least? Well, whatever it's called, the same force that pushed over the book on the bookcase also made something else in this cabin move. The bolt on the cabin door. It was very obviously just after the emergency stop that the ship made earlier. We had come into this cabin not long before, and we had him bolted the door. But then the door was bolted shut. Oh. Hello, is anybody in there? Shout if you need assistance. Oh, that just sounds like Hosonaga. Inspector Hosonaga. Oh, yes. That's it. When the ship stopped suddenly, the bolt flew across and locked the door. It's made of metal, but it's small. Oh, wait, hold on one sec. Let me... Wait, hold on. Sorry, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Hold on. Yes, it's made of metal, but it's small and light enough to be moved by the ship's sudden changes of speed. Or the force of inertia, if you want to call it that. Are you trying to say that last night, after Mr. Sogi was killed? So that's what the headache must be. People, the ship stopped and people must have hit their head, but they didn't wake up, which is why they all have headaches. That's kind of a bad. The SS Bria made another emergency stop. When I woke up this morning and looked around the cabin, I thought it looked a little odd. All the books in the shelf had toppled over, and all the ornaments. It was almost as if someone had run their hands across the shelf deliberately and knocked everything over. Oh yes, I remember that. And I stood them all up again, didn't I? And when we came into this cabin, we were surprised to see the same thing in here. All the books and everything had toppled over, just like in Mr. Asogi's cabin. Oh my. Do you have anything to say about this, Miss Pavlova? Are you out of your mind? You say Burya made emergency stop? It does seem a little far-fetched. How could that be possibly have happened? Unless you're saying that the culprit is actually someone from the engine room. Oh, it's simple enough. Are you forgetting the button in the passageway outside? Used to trigger the emergency alarm? Oh, yes, of course. There was no notice that it wasn't there, telling you only to press the button in times of emergency. On dark nights when fog is dense, the captain cannot afford to rely on the eyes of the lookouts alone. Hence, its placement of a number of buttons around this vessel to allow any crewman to raise the alarm. The sort of button one is almost compelled to press to satisfy one's curiosity. Okay, this is going to be the entire case, the investigation. Wait, it was you. When the button is pressed, two things happen in the interest of safety. He pressed the emergency alarm bells rings and the vessel comes to a complete stop. As indeed it is, I did it a little earlier today. Mr. Sholmes, surely it wasn't you who... As I always say, a button has but one purpose in life, to be pressed. To be pressed. God, man. He sounds almost proud of himself. How dare you mess with ship? I report you to Captain. You are in much trouble now. Now. I'm sure all that can wait until later. Let us not overlook the fact that we have now learned a valuable lesson. When the vessel makes an emergency stop, the bolts of the cabin door slide closed. So what we must now consider, yes, it all comes down to one thing. Last night, after what happened to Mr. Asogi, did the ship make an emergency stop, or did it not? You are idiots. Buria is a huge ship with many passengers. If we make an emergency stop, even in the middle of night, there will be chaos everywhere. What are your thoughts, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, it's certainly possible that some kind of emergency happened last night. We have evidence to support that idea. Really? What evidence, Mr. Naruhodo? Fascinating. You do show us, my good man. What evidence promotes the theory that some emergency gripped this vessel last night? I don't need to say, but that's one we know. It's in the ship's logs.
Yes!
Seaman Stroganoff, it's your duty to patrol the first class area of the ship. Isn't that right? Ah, that is correct. Why? And the ship's logs here. This would be where you would record the details of your duties. What are you doing with that? That's mine. Ah, you rather carelessly left it atop the little makeshift bureau in the passageway out there. But as responsible passengers, we took it into our care with a mind to return it to you later. I left it there on purpose. That's where I always put it always. The point is, Looking at what you usually record, it's clear that under normal circumstances, you write the phrase nothing to report every 30 minutes. But from 2 o'clock last night until first light this morning, nothing was recorded at all. Nothing recorded in the log. That is, duh, because nothing happened, but you didn't even write nothing happened. But if nothing happened, you would normally write nothing to report, wouldn't you? Indeed. So, which tells us that shortly after 2 a.m., something indeed did happen. Something happened here aboard this Esburia. Something sufficiently insignificant to make you forget to fill in the ship's log intact. Are you suggesting that the ships really did make an emergency stop in the middle of the night? Stop talking rubbish! If I'm perfectly honest, I find that a little hard to believe myself. Oh? Why? Well, because if something as major as an emergency stop really happened, surely all of us would have noticed. That's very true. Thanks to the emergency stop we experienced earlier, we all know what it feels like now. The ship lurched so violently, and the alarm bell was so loud. I can't imagine that anybody would sleep through that, even if it happened in the dead of night. Well, no. That's a good point. Oh, they poisoned the food. What of the throbbing? Sorry? What do you mean? Your head, man. The throbbing of your head since this morning. We have all suffered with it. Ah. Oh, yes. I have had a headache. You're right. In fact, I haven't been feeling myself since I woke up today. Nor have I. My head has been feeling heavy ever since dawn. Yes, you've all been afflicted, haven't you? Just as I suspected. He's right. My head's been throbbing today too. And since eating dinner yesterday evening, everything has felt sort of hazy. I can't really remember anything that happened after. Holy, there's a lot of... Then the first thing I noticed this morning was a throbbing pain in my head. I had already been dragged out of the wardrobe. Yeah, and he didn't wake up even after being dragged. I had those handcuffs put on me by that point. Why didn't I wake up when all that was happening to me? Yeah. Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, you boarded this vessel as a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, well, yes. Sorry. A stowaway class of accommodation doesn't usually include meals. What did you survive on? Well, Kazuma looked after me. He was always very happy to share his meals. So you enjoyed some of the whole roast chicken dish that was served yesterday evening, I take it? Yes. In fact, I had all of that. Kazuma wasn't fond of chicken. Oh, really? So the victim didn't eat any of the chicken at all? That's right. He didn't touch it. Is that relevant? Yes, my dear fellow. Does that not strike you? Oh, Mr. Sholmes, do you mean to say that there was something wrong with the chicken? Yeah, I do. No. No. Really? Is that really true? The meal prepared for the passengers last night had been tampered with. Tampered with by the addition of a soporific designed to induce a very deep slumber in those who consumed it. But why? A sleeping drug? Do you mean whoever did this laced every meal with a sleeping drug so no one would notice the ship's emergency stop? But who could do that? Mr. Naruhodo, of course that's not what Mr. Stone means. What a far-fetched idea. No, that's exactly what I mean, actually. Precisely. Lacing every meal of every passenger on board with a soporific drug would certainly be impossible. Unless, that is, every single member of the crew was a conspirator. Oh! What? Mr. Sholmes. Well, seaman. They did that all for her, but why? I'm sorry to say that any more deception in this matter will get you nowhere. Stroganoff. Yeah, but they said they knew her. If you refuse to talk, there would have to be an inquiry made through the shipping company, of course. And for that to happen, every member of the crew and the captain himself would be hauled over to the coals for aiding and abetting a renegade. Oh, you think she is actually the thing, the dude, but is not that person is made up? Is a fake persona? Please, no more. I will tell everything. Eh? I cannot make problems like this for everyone anymore. These crewmen are your former comrades, I believe. Ah, yes. So when I decided to run away, I asked them to help me. We all agreed to help everyone together. She threw away everything. Her fame in the ballet, Mother Russia. We wanted to help our angel. I don't believe it. You are right. We put sleeping drugs in chicken last night. Yes, I remember now. I did notice chewing out a lump of something strange and bitter at one point. Ah, we could not make all drug, how do you say, dissolve. Ugh, talk about heavy seasoning. At midnight, in waters near Shanghai, we brought our angel on board. She was helped by comrade on shore with small fishing boat. While all the passengers of the Esabrio slept soundly. Thanks to the almost magical effects of the slumber-inducing potion their evening meals kept contained. So, if that's what happened, the only people awake on the ship last night were the crew, her, and Kazuma. For these crew, the people who like dislike chicken, and the newly boarded passenger, Miss Pavlova. And that means it would have been impossible for you. You could have used that emergency stop trick to lock Kazuma's cabin door. But how does that make sense? Why? Surely every cabin door would have ended up locked in that case, and there would have been a complete chaos. But no, they would have just simply unlocked it. They will probably just assume they locked it. But no, wouldn't it be normal to lock your cabin door at night? Oh, I wouldn't say so. What? Of course. Just like us, all the other passengers would have eaten their evening meal of chicken in their cabins, after which they would have been overwhelmed by the tiredness because of sleeping fight. And accordingly, all passengers were ready in their cabins for the night. Yes. The overwhelming majority of passengers would have habitually sleep with their cabin doors bolted anyway. And so not one of them would have found it remarkable to find a door locked in the morning. Yeah, they're like, oh, I probably locked it before I went. In summary, in order to fasten the boat to a single cabin on door to the ship, the culprit brought the entire vessel to an emergency stop in the early hours of the morning. You have talked long and time and said many things. What is point? The point is what I said earlier. There was somebody else present on the scene when the victim lost his life last night. Someone who left a message in Russian on the floor in an attempt to incriminate another. Someone who tried desperately to hide the broken fragment of glass that would reveal the culprit's identity. All this is to say she was in the room. And someone who abused the ship's emergency stop procedure in order to lock a door. All told, a busy night. But, I don't know about any of this. I'm just a little girl. You like to speak with your long English words and explain your clever ideas. But I'm a sailor, and sailors don't listen to long, boring stories. We don't believe. Sailors like me, we trust only what we see with our eyes. A laudable trait. What? I am quite of the same disposition, my good man. Observation to me is everything. Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes. Do you hear it? That accusatory cry of guilt on the new wind? What accusatory cry of guilt? So sorry, you've lost me. Proof of involvement, man, but you can't hear such a call with your ears. No. You must hear with your eyes. For observation is the basis of all deduction. What are you? talking about? I believe the time has come for one final logic and reasoning spectacular to expose the truth. Uh-oh, one last dance. So, Mr. Haruhodo, your assistance, if you please. With what exactly, Mr. Sholmes? With observation, my dear fellow, just as I said, of these two observation. If you remember, Mr. Naruhodo, we know that somebody tried to fabricate evidence, don't we? By tampering with the scene of Mrs. Sogi's death. What we're looking for is some trace of evidence that one of these two was there when it happened. Precisely. You are delightfully quick to grasp my meaning. Right. I'll see what I can see. But we're looking for a trace of evidence that shows someone else was there last night when Kazuma died. Chunky arms. Left ear. Ah, there you go. There you go. Oh, look at this. It's some kind of stain. In an unusual place. Yes, you're right. It looks like ink, if I'm not mistaken. Ink. And look at the color, too. It's clear where this came from.
Yes!
It was you. You were there. Ink stain on the back. J. Seaman Stroganov. You seem to have quite a large purple stain on the back of your white uniform there. Eh? Yes, I don't know where that dirt comes from. So nothing in particular comes to mind about the stain. What are you trying to say? It would appear that the significance of the stain has escaped your attention, Seaman. Allow us to make it plain. There's a very large purple stain on the back of Seaman Stroganov's uniform. I think what made it is clear. Indeed, it is. So, Mr. Naruhodo, present the evidence that proves it. My pleasure. All right then. The evidence that proves this thing. What the stain is on the back of Seaman Stroganov's uniform really is. Where's the picture of the...
Yes!
Yes! Yes, it's this photograph, and the ink it shows. That's what caused the stain of your uniform. Ink. That rather unusual color of ink, purple. The penny drops at last. Now you see the significance. The Russian word on the floor next to the victim's body was written in purple ink. And the stain on the back of your uniform is ink of exactly the same color. If the ink had been dry, it couldn't possibly have been stained. You couldn't have possibly stained your uniform in that way, which means it was wet. You must have been present in the cabin in the moments immediately after the ink was spilled. Hold on, let me see. All right. Yes. It was me. I did it. Everything. I arranged everything in dead student's cabin to make it look like it was wardrobe man did it. When I pressed button to make Bria do emergency stop and bolt cabin doors shut. I did everything so no one would suspect our angel. Biff, please. Beef. Don't worry, Angel. Let me do talking. It was after 1 in the morning. I was on duty patrolling passageway. Then our angel came to me. She was white like sheet. Sheet, not nothing. Biff, please. Beef, please. You must help me. I went with her. The door of cabin number 1 was open. When I looked inside, I saw student boy on floor. What? What happened here? But it would have been, I don't get why the framing, why setting up. It would have been fine if we just said it was an accident. Because it would have been the thing that, yeah, it was just an accident. because it wasn't ultimately an accident. They tried to frame him, but it was ultimately he died because of an accident. Please don't tell anyone. My little one, my little furry friend. All for Cat. Everything that happened in the cabin is like Angel told you. The kitten escaped with the ventilator into Mr. Asogi's cabin. Then he tripped over it and broke his neck when he fell onto the floor. Yes, that is right. So after the incident, when the cat ran away, Miss Pavlova then visited the cabin next to hers, only to find its occupant lying lifeless on the floor. She said she was worried when she heard sound of something fall on the floor. That's when she went to look. No, Angel? The door was not locked, so she opened it to look, and you already know what happened after. There's just one thing, if you wouldn't mind. Why? What? Why? When you went to Mr. Asogi's cabin, Miss Pavlova, was he already dead? Why? I already told you. When Nina opened the door to the cabin and looked inside, I was asking Miss Pavlova. Well, Miss Pavlova? Ah. Oh. Yes, that is right. I saw him. It was dark and he was wearing black, but he was on the floor, not moving. I was scared. I understand, and I believe you. So is that finally it now? Have we discovered the real truth about Kazuma's death at last? Ah, something very nearly slipped my mind. Oh, Mr. Sholmes? This photograph. Yes, I took it myself, you know. The cause of death was a broken neck. Therefore, the victim died instantly. And the unfortunate incident that precipitated these events, a kitten on which the victim stumbled. However, if those are the facts, there is one particular area in this photograph that seems to me somewhat unnatural. Yes. So yes, but how did they know he was in there? So yeah, this is still the thing. What do you mean unnatural? What are your thoughts on the matter, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, well, he's right. If Kazuma tripped and fell and by some terrible stroke of bad luck broke his neck, which part of this photograph seems unnatural?
Yes!
This word in Russian clearly wasn't written by Kazuma. So if you're looking for something unnatural, that's the obvious point. Very true. It's certainly peculiar, but that's not what I meant by it. It's not what I meant by unnatural, I'm afraid. That particularly crass detail was orchestrated by the culprit. I mean to identify another point. Oh, I see. How did they know you were in there? Imagine, if you will, losing your footing by yourself. In my opinion, if you landed as the victim appears to have done here, it would be most unnatural. I'm sure you reach the same conclusion. Oh, you saying he got pushed? You say maybe he was about to step on. When they came in, he was about to step on the cat, and then she pushed him. How thoughtful you are, Mr. Sholmes. Thank you for your gentle guidance. If Kazuma tripped and fell, and by some terrible stroke of bad luck broke his neck. What part of this photograph looks unnatural? Oh, the fist. Why you don't usually fall with a closed fist, do you?
Yes.
Closed fist. All right. If he really fell due to an unfortunate accident, then this fist just doesn't seem quite right. That's true. Look, the exact same thought occurred to me. In a fall, one's instinct is to open the pond's flat to catch yourself. but his fist was closed. Yet here we see the victim with his left hand tightly balled into a fist. Almost, you might say, if he was fighting. As though he were gripping something. What do you mean? Simply that I took the liberty of investigating the victim's fist a short while ago. You did? And what, pray, do you imagine I found in there? My dear fellow? Mr. Sholmes. Show us, please. Why, of course, my dear madam. Would I keep you in suspense? This is what I found. Her earring. Oh no, so it wasn't even an accident. Uh-oh. So no, so she must have pushed him. Oh, a crescent moon with a little gemstone in the middle? Yes, it's her earring. Yes, you're right. Right, a crescent moon is very pretty, but what does it tell us? It tells us nothing. I'm not so sure. That crescent moon looks familiar somehow. I'm sure I've seen it before somewhere. Of your observation, Mr. Naruhodo, that is the key. What? The truth is now tantalizingly close. How did that crescent moon come to be in Kazuma's clenched fist? This is the final clue, the last piece of the puzzle. Ask yourself, what does a little crescent moon mean? What significance has it? And observe, find the answer with your own eyes. Yeah, it's obvious, yeah. He has such a petite ears on that beautiful hair. Like little pink shells. Oh, what's that? There's something dangling down from her ear. Yes, that's an earring. Wait, look, it's a crescent moon. Ah, there can be no doubt now, surely.
Yes!
There's Pavlova on your ear there. I see you have a crescent moon as well. Ah, what? Oh, so she must have even lied to him. And on your other ear, missing, there seems to be a crescent moon missing. The little link holding it on must have broken, I suppose, when someone grabbed you. Now, the missing crescent moon was found in the victim's clenched fist. Clearly, there's only one logical conclusion. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes. Miss Pavlova, Mr. Sogi must have grasped that crescent moon and pulled it from your ear. Perhaps in this moment before he fell to the floor. In other words, last night in Mr. Sogi's cabin, you witnessed the moment when the victim fell with your own eyes. In fact, you were quite literally at arm's length from him. Oh no. But then the question is, why did Mr. Sogi do that? Why did he pull your earring from your ear and hold it in his clenched fist during his final moments? Oh no. Angel? Oh, uh-oh, he's beginning to put the pieces together too. She must have pushed him. Maybe he was about to step on the cat, but she pushed him. No matter how you slice it, no one can protect you now. Please, Miss Pavlova, tell us the truth. Last night, what did you do to Kazuma? Ah. She must have pushed him. That's the only reason I can see. When I think about everything that happened yesterday, it was too much. Running away, the fishing boat in the middle of the night, trying to climb onto this huge ship, and then when I was at last in this cabin and I could relax after this horrible long day. Darka, wait! I couldn't believe it when she disappeared through the ventilator. I tried to call her with a little whistle. I tried waving her favorite toy, but nothing worked. Darka would not come back. Just went into the room. Knock, knock. Funk, yeah, he opened the door. That's why, yeah. He, yeah. So she did go to talk to him. What are you doing here at this time of night, Inspector? Inspector? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. So why? But why? The young man from your country, he was very polite and kind. Yeah, he helped me to find Darkrai. Yeah, and he promised not to tell anyone. Yeah, that sounds like him. He wouldn't really narc on you. I don't think. But then what happened? But then, when I had my friend in my arms again, and I was going to leave the man's cabin. Just a moment. Sorry, but... Oh, yes? I'm sure I know your face. I've seen you somewhere before. Oh, she got scared when he said that. Of course. You're Nikolina Pavlova, aren't you? The Russian ballerina. Huh? No, I don't know that name. My heart nearly stopped when he said that. He knew who I was. How could this man from a land in faraway east know a Russian ballerina? So he must be a spy. Yes, I saw your performance in Japan. The beauty of the ballet made a deep impression on me. But what are you doing on this ship? I'm sure I read that your ballet company was performing in Shanghai at the moment. I can't fool him. No, even though he helped her, he thought he was gonna rat her out and make her go back. I have to tell him the truth and hope he doesn't tell anyone. I have no other choice. Oh, so she told him. I see. So you've run away. Please keep my secret. Don't tell anyone. Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here. Oh! He was gonna ask Thing what he thought, but she thought he was gonna do. Oh! She thought he was gonna pull the cord and tell on her, but he was actually gonna open the door to. Oh man! Why did I think I could trust him? She misunderstood. So when his back was turned, and then it happened, she like everything at once. Then he's like, I have to push him. It was only a second, but it felt like forever. Wait! I shouted, and then Darka jumped out of my arms and down to the young man's feet, and I pushed him. As he turned around to look at me. Oh, he hit his head on the edge of the bed. I pushed him. So she did kill him. Yeah, so she did kill him. I pushed. I don't even know why. I don't know why I did it. I was just so scared. And I had to stop him from telling anyone about me. And that's when you went to fetch help from Seaman Stroganoff, who was on duty out in the passageway. I heard Nina cry out and the thud on the floor. I ran to her. She was standing at cabin door, shaking like a leaf. She looked at me and said, "Help me, Biff. If they find out, I will be... Please, I have nowhere else to go." So you decided to help. And that's when you arranged things in Cosmo's cabin to make it look like I did it. So that no one would suspect the passenger in the cabin next door. Yes. I went into cabin and looked around to make sure there was nothing to show Nina was there. And then I found Stowaway and Wardrobe still sleeping. Right. That's when he found me. So you worked out a plan to lay the blame on the Stowaway. But they had no idea that they were friends, so the plan was doomed from the start. I closed Wardrobe and put back strange paper sign. Luckily for me, that's the only reason Susato-san started to believe me when I said I was innocent. I dragged the young man's body into the place and used ink that was spilling to write on floor. I wrote so that person who found him would look inside Wardrobe and find Stowaway. And tell me, what of the glass bell? It was by my feet, so I picked it up. I see. but it was dark in the cabin. I didn't notice the other half. Then the angel went back to her cabin, and I finished the job by pressing the emergency alarm button in the cat passageway. Ah, yes. Accordingly, the Esabrio did indeed come to us emergency hall a little after 2 a.m., thus enticing the bolt on the cabin door to slide shut, creating the locked room mystery. Oh yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it in the last part, but basically, whenever there's a locked room mystery, there's only two solutions to it. It's either one, the person is still in the room, in the locked room, when it's discovered, or two, it's not actually a locked room. So yeah, in this case, it wasn't actually a locked room before the murder. There's still one thing I don't understand, Miss Pavlova. What? Well, you said that you told Kazuma about the fact that you'd run away from your homeland, and it's because you were worried he was going to tell the captain that you pushed him. Isn't that right? Yes. But even if he had pulled the bell cord and called for the captain of the ship, aren't you friends with every member of the crew? Why would that have been a problem? It was what he said first that made me scared. What he said first. I had to consult a friend. What are you doing here at this time of night? Inspector? Oh, Inspector. See, remember he said Inspector. Oh. Oh. I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. Oh, and let's consult a friend. He said Inspector was his friend, so when he said, let me ask my friend of mine. Ah, yes, you're meaning me, who was supposed to be acting as his bodyguard. They thought that if police knew about me, they would arrest me. That's right. So before he could pull the bell cord, May I stop you a moment, please, Miss Pavlova? It just doesn't seem to make sense. I mean, was Mr. Osogi really going to pull the bell cord? I don't know. What? What do you think? No. Oh, yeah. No, he was gonna wake me up. Well, I'm not Kazuma, so I can't know for certain. But he was a man of his word. If he told you he wouldn't give your secret away, then he wouldn't have done it. No, he was walking over to it. He was going to pull the cord. He was going to make them send me back. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, the day's work is not yet done, it seems. There is one more deduction to make. What? Another deduction? Yes. What action was the victim really about to take at the moment? Easy. Can we determine whether the young man's gaze was directed? Yeah, that's the easy one. First, consider the victim's location within his cabin. That's easy. I remember every detail of that room. I mean, yes, I spent quite a lot of time in the wardrobe, but still, that cabin has been my home for this entire voyage. This is how the cabin looked last night when Miss Pavlova visited Kazuma-sama. Yes, it's exactly how it was. Are you ready then, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes. There's one thing I've learned today, is that simple gaze can reveal all manner of truth. And not only that, in order to draw the right conclusion, you can't afford to be out by even a little bit when following the gaze to where it lands. So, when he turned away from Miss Pavlova, what exactly was Kazuma looking at? Easy. The blinking wardrobe. You're looking at, well, me. He was looking at me. Considering everything that had happened last night. Certainly, it may have looked as though Kazuma was going to bring the bell cord. Yes, however. What is directly beside the bell cord? The wardrobe that I was in. The wardrobe. And more importantly, what was inside the wardrobe. Me, the man's great friend, sleeping less soundly. Miss Pavlova, please think back very carefully. what were Mr. Asogi's exact words last night. Give me a moment. I can use another opinion here. Another opinion? Yes, but not from a member of the crew. No, Mr. Asogi intended to consult his close friend on the matter. See if between them, they might be able to help in some way, no doubt. No. Sadly, we can't know the truth for certain now. It's too late for that. But I wish you had made sure of what Mr. Asogi was looking at. That things may have ended very differently if you had. Miss Pavlova, I wanted to thank you for finally admitting the truth. But unfortunately, the truth is, a man lost his life because of what you did, and that will never change. I hope you'll never forget that. I am sorry. Really, I'm so sorry. What have I done? And so, at long last, the mystery surrounding the tragic accident on the SS Berea was finally laid to rest. But yeah, it doesn't make any difference. Yeah, that's it, but it doesn't change the fact that he's still dead. From 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., that took all day. What will happen to Miss Pavlova now then? Once she reaches Great Britain, she'll be handed over to the British police at Scotland Yard. And what about the fact that she ran away from Russia? They'll probably send her back. Won't the Russians try to repatriate her? Apparently, the English detective can speak to the immigration office and sort all that out. Mr. Soames can do that, so she won't be going back. It's probably going to be she's an asylum seeker. No, I don't think so. Even if she wanted to return in the future, I doubt she would be able to. She ran away, so now she's in exile for life. I see. I'm sorry. Seaman Stroganoff? I wanted to help our angel, no matter what, but I didn't think about you, about how you lost a good friend. I will go with Nina. I will give myself to British police. That's kind of you. In the meantime, thank you for letting me go free again. Kazuma's death feels like such a waste, but well, do what you can for Miss Pavlova, won't you? Duh. So now what? Well, I'm afraid you need to pack now. We're due to arrive in Hong Kong tomorrow. And as much as it pains me, I'm going to have to hand you over to the consul that Ranger passes back to Japan. Yes. Yes. But I did stow away after all. I couldn't really expect any different. So, you should get back to your cabin now. It looks like my study toward Great Britain is over before it even has begun then. To think that only days ago, Kazuma and I were laughing together about how we tear up the streets of London. That it seems like a distant memory now. Oh, what's that? Is it someone weeping? Susato. Susato-san? Naruhodo-san, I didn't know you had returned. Oh, well, I haven't been back long. Inspector Hosonaga just told me I should pack, you know, ready to leave the shit tomorrow and all that. Susato. I still can't believe this has happened. I can't believe someone's life can be over just like that. Susato-san. Yeah. Gone in an instant. He had such a grand idea for his visit to Great Britain. So many dreams. And now they've been cruelly taken away, just as he has. I thought I could never forgive the person responsible. But now we know the truth, that it was just an accident, just a silly series of mishaps. It's too much, Naruto-san. It's just too much. I know. Yes, I know. I wish there was something I could say. Inspector, my duty was to see Asogi-san safely to Great Britain, but I failed, and caused his two closest friends great pain and suffering as a result. I've let everyone down, and I will do anything to make up for my terrible blunder. Nobody blames me, Inspector. And I'm free again now, at least. Huh? Just a little bit of fun. Surprise, Mr. Naruhodo? What? What is the meaning of this? Oh, a trifling matter. Simply that in my head, I think I shall always picture you wearing those shackles. Without them, the balance seems all wrong. It's distracting. Sorry? Because I decided to restore them for old time's sake, shall we say. You are a stowaway after all. I'm gonna punch this guy. He thinks this is funny. Mr. Sholmes. We do appreciate all your assistance. I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Not at all, not at all. And though I was a little late, may I offer my sincere condolences. The loss of your companion is truly heart-rending. I hope that you'll be able to fulfill some of his aspirations in his honor. I'm afraid that won't be possible. We shall be disembarking at the next port in Hong Kong. We have to return to Japan and make a full report about everything that's happened. What? Wait a minute. It's just me that has to go back, isn't it? I mean, I was the stowaway. No, she was going there to assist them, but he's not there. No. The terms of the study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice and Growth in both Great Britain and Japan. It was to be one lawyer and one assistant. Was to be? In the light of Mr. Sogi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead. Oh no, I don't care for me. But Susato. Poor Susato-san. My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know? They don't know what you look like. All you require is one lawyer, and the study tour can continue surely. But there's no one with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Sholmes. You know of no other lawyer. Yes, you do. Well, qualifications, you say. Any qualifications obtained in your own country will be of little value in Great Britain, I'm afraid. Oh, but anyway, the voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Oh, so basically we're gonna have me train and become a qualified lawyer. And like, oh, I'm a lawyer, so ample opportunity, I would say, is to find yourself another suitable lawyer. But we have to stay on this. Yes. Wait. Miss Susato, you could do it, yes? Could I do it? Do you think perhaps I might be able to do it? But you're not a lawyer, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, unless. Are you studying law? No, I'm not, but I'm sorry. In that case, I don't think there's even a chance it could work. But as I said, there is still more than a month before we reach England's shores. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I have a month in which to study to learn what I can. I learn what I must to become a lawyer in Great Britain. Mr. Naruhodo, that's ridiculous. Are you seriously suggesting anybody could learn all of that in just 40 days? There's only one way to find out. I would work my fingers to the bone, Inspector, every single day. Will you let me try? And if by the time we reach Great Britain, I haven't learned enough to be recognized as a lawyer, I'll take whatever punishment is deemed appropriate. But why put yourself in such a difficult position? Poor Kazuma. He said that there was something he had to do in Great Britain, and that he would sacrifice anything to make it happen. Susato, he was passionate about it. I can't let all that passion just come to nothing. And anyway, it's for my own benefit too. I will become a lawyer. I have to. What do you say, Miss Susato? Oh, I think it's a wonderful idea. Thank you. So, what does our bespectacled inspector friend say? Are you serious? One lawyer and one assistant. The numbers are indisputable. No, 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 no. It's madness. Yet fascinating. Wouldn't you agree? Fascinating? Duty and rules are the dull routine of existence that we all abhor. Give us interest. Give us fascination. True. Hold on. I'll just do that. Yeah. Speak for yourself. Besides, qualifications are no measure of a man, but man is just his character. No? Huh. And you've witnessed ample evidence of this man's exemplary character today with your own eyes. From the early hours of the morning until this very moment now. Despite contending with the passing of his close companion, and despite the accusation of guilt, this man has shown resourcefulness, intelligence, and, above all, courage. Very well. I'll think of a clever way to word my report to the Department of Justice. Inspector, after all, I did just make a promise, didn't I? I said that I'd do anything at all to make up for my shortcomings here. Oh, thank you, Inspector. If you'll excuse me, I must pay a visit to the captain's quarters, I think. We need to discuss what to do next and how to best make my report. Are you really prepared to attempt this, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I'm going to try. I wonder, would you consider teaching me what I need to know? Everything about being a lawyer? I would be delighted to help you. I am a judicial assistant after all. Thank you. And Mr. Naruhodo, I'd like you to take charge of this. Yeah, that's what I figured was gonna happen. Yeah, we're the best person to have it. What? Me? Are you sure? I think he'd want you to have it. I'm sure it's what Kazuma-san would have wanted. His sword, it was a spirit. Its name is Kuruma. Kuruma is a great sword that has been in the Sogi clan for generations. Very well. I accept it. I'll treasure it always. So then, Miss Susato, it seems we'll be working together for some time to come yet. It will be an honor, Mr. Naruto. And for the next 40 days, I shan't grant you a single minute of freedom. You shall fill every spare moment with study. Yes, that's exactly what I need. But before we begin, I have an earnest favor to ask of you too. Goodness, what is it? Please throw me to the ground. 3 times. Oh, for the... No, I'm not gonna do that. What? I should never have doubted you. You were Kazuma-sama's closest friend. Of course, you would never have done anything to hurt him. That should have been obvious to me from the start. But I allowed such suspicion to get the better of me, and no matter how upset I was feeling, it was completely unforgivable behavior. No, you were in shock. You just found out about me stowing away, and the cabin door was locked from the inside. No, I won't let you make excuses for me. Whatever the circumstances, I should have never thrown it, and not just once, but 5 times. Wait, you just said 3. Did you just say 3? Ah, that number keeps creeping up, doesn't it? Please, you must. Just take hold of me and throw me. Do it. Don't even think about it. No. I don't even know how. I've never thrown anyone in my life. Very wise, Mr. Naruto. It isn't a skill one requires without considerable training. Oh, Mr. Sholmes? I observed your throwing technique several times with my great interest. I confess I was most impressed. When did he see that? I presume that would be a form of Japanese wrestling? Sumo. Oh, well, in a way, it's not wrestling, but it's my own interpretation of an ancient jujutsu technique. Apparently, it's called the Susato takedown. It leaves you on your head swimming, believe me. How beguiling? Beguiling? I am practitioner of the competitive art myself. I'm a somewhat accomplished boxer. There he goes, dancing around again. I wonder if you'd be so kind as to instruct me on the technique of your wrestling throw. Yes, I'd be honored. Then let us not dally. Demonstrate, my dear madam. Oh, of course. Are you ready? Mr. Naruhodo? Huh? What? Wait, why? Huh? What? Sorry? Wait. Why me? As you can see, you throw from the abdomen. Oh, yes, wrestling indeed. And that is what you term the Susato takedown, is it? Actually, no, that was a Susato squash. What? Huh? I'm sorry, come again? In my groggy state of consciousness, a scene from an evening recently spent with Kazuma flickered into my mind. You remember what he said? Haruma. That's right. It's a prize sword that's been passed down through generations of the Silken clan. I can't believe you managed to get permission to bring it up with you. I mean, taking a ton of the study tour is more than a little regular, surely. A Japanese man's sword is his soul, Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Haruma guides me. I truly believe that. Those things compels his will to slice evil in two. I believe it is just compelling. On that subject, there is something very important that I have to do in Great Britain, and I'll sacrifice anything to make it happen. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down. We'll never know that important thing he had to do. I'll never know. I still don't know what that was. Because I don't think we ever will we? But I'm going to see the place for myself and work it out. In Great Britain's capital, London. And got end. Yeah, we did it. Gone too, yeah, pour one out for him, bro. Gone ripped to a real one, brother. Sad. The break was. Oh. Behind those basketballs, yeah. Oh, we can see the adventures of the runaway room. The clouded kokoro. That's hard. The adventure of the runaway room.
Glancing over my records of the late last century, I am faced by the events of a certain bitter winter. A murder in a carriage as it sped through dense London fog in the dead of night. Though the victim and the perpetrator were the only ones inside, there were multiple witnesses to the crime itself. However, none could have imagined at the time that such a seemingly obvious case as this would end in such a horrendous manner. My friend, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, once said of the incident, "I believe that perhaps that case was indeed the prelude. The beginning of a long concerto that impressive Japanese student and I were to play together."
Amazing. Is this really just a railway station?
Railway station or not, I've never seen such an enormous building before.
And look at all the steam locomotives. This country is incredible.
So uh-oh, he's about to get robbed.
Like I'm dreaming.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
So, where to?
Oh, hello.
Climb aboard. I'll take you wherever you want to go.
In that case, the Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
My pleasure. I suppose you're visiting students from abroad, eh?
Yes.
Thought so. Well then, I hope you enjoy your stay. And welcome to the centre of the world, Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
London. Knights. Imperial Knights. 18th of February. 1929. British Supreme Court. Lord Chief Justice's office. Whoa. What an incredible place. It's so imposing. It's almost suffocating. This place is breathtaking. It looks like a fortress. There are some stone buildings in this Japan now, of course, but they've only been built in a few short decades over our borders and the outside world. An authentic example like this has quite a different impact, wouldn't you agree? A far cry from the wooden paper most of our buildings are constructed from. Certainly. It's certainly unfamiliar. But I think there's more to the differences than just construction materials. What is it? What is this place again? This is the Lord Chief Justice's office in our village, the Supreme Court of Britain. The Lord Chief Justice. We had instructions to report here at this time. If the circumstances were different, we were supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know that we had arrived in Japan. It has we can't. No. So instead, we are here in different capacity. Envoys to report the news of Kazuma-sama's death. Yes. And having delivered his or her mission and the envoy's duty is done. So, we have to return to Japan. If we want to remain here in Great Britain, I have to take Kazuma's places of lost living and selected for the study. Yes, this means you need to requisite Kazuma's qualifications for work. This is what I've been studying for. Here in Great Britain, it is the Lord Chief Justice who appoints lawyers. So that's the second reason why we're here. Time to officially recognize as a lawyer. Yeah, and the only way it's the only way we'll be able to reign here in London. I hope I'm up to scratch. Good morning. Sorry for keeping you. Whoa, holy! Oh, I trust you aren't too exhausted after your long voyage from Japan. It seems I'm on 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 47 seconds late. My apologies. Oh, no, don't mention it. We're never happier than when we're standing around waiting for nothing much to do. How fortunate. So, introductions. I am Bale Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire. And I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot. Come on, Mr. Naruhodo, don't be a mouse. Oh, it's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Strongheart. I'm Morinosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire. Yes, thank you. I'm calling Naruto. He's also evil. So, look at these menacing metal giants facing each other across the room. They are knights. They're referred to as knights. I believe these were called, yes, they're suits of armor. Oh, right. I thought maybe they were like lion dogs we have in Japan guarding the shrine gate. Actually, not wrong. No, not at all. In fact, in Europe, suits of armor like these are always possessed by evil spirits, you know, and they roam around in the middle of the night. Really? Is there nothing you don't know, Mr. Susato? The book tells me everything I need to know about everything. If you're ever unsure, just ask. Where did you get that incredible tome? Just look at all the naughty books together on these shelves. They go from floor to ceiling. And they're all books that you couldn't hope to come by in Japan. It's like a dream. Yes, a very bad dream. They're not all about British law either. There are books about judicial systems of other Western nations. France, Germany, Spain, Holland. What about Russia? How do you ask? I was wondering about asking the Lord Chief Justice how you say wardrobe in Russian. What do you think? I think perhaps it's a thought best abandoned. This must be the Lord Chief Justice's desk. I believe it's made of marble. Whoa! Looks like more like an over-the-top tombstone that's toppled over to me. I think that's your fanciful imagination at work again, Mr. Naruto. Feels like everything's made of wood and paper at home. It's made of brick and stone here. I know. That's why this place feels so overbearing. Sure. Is this some kind of clock? Actually, I think we might be inside some sort of giant clock. But those gears are larger than anything you find in a steam locomotive. It's here. Do you think clocks are some sort of hobby of his? Well, the Lord Chief Justice like that. And well, boys do enjoy fiddling on with machines, don't they? I'm not so sure you could fiddle with those clocks of that size. And I certainly you couldn't call him a boy. Still, it's amazing how little noise the clocks make, considering how large they are. It's actually super precise reading. I've never investigated if they're anything else. Okay. So, what are your impressions of our capital so far? How do you like London? Oh, well, hell, I've been so nervous ever since I got here that I can't remember a single thing about the city. Simply splendid, isn't it, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh? We had a wonderful view of some London streets with the carriage on the way here from the station. Everything is so impressive and grand. I must say, I'm almost lost for words. I'm glad to hear you like it. The city boasts tramways, piped water, and gas, and even cables supplying electricity. We spearheaded every revolutionary new technology in the world. Every visitor to London is astounded. Oh, yes, astounded is the word. Thanks for saving me there, Susato-san. Everyone seems so jolly and full of vigor. Yes, there's much excitement about the upcoming great exhibition we'll be hosting here in London. Great exhibition. Cultural and technological advancements from around the globe are to be exhibited here in our great city. It will be the greatest spectacle of its kind in history, and it will make Paris's World Fair look like a toy shop. Gosh, I can hardly imagine how magnificent it's going to be. Great Britain's capital is nothing more but magnificent. London is the center of the modern world. No comment. Even if you do say so yourself. The sun will never set on our great empire. Perhaps it's fate that in these progressive times we welcome visitors from London in the land of the rising sun. Lord Chief Justice, I think you were expecting a student of law for the study, weren't you? Absolutely. Mr. Kazuma Soki, if my memory serves. That's right. The British government has already been telegraphed a full report of the situation. I understand that the young man lost his life about the steamship bound for our shores. That's amazing. The news reached it before we even arrived. Oh, shame. My country naturally extends its deepest condolences to yours. Oh, thank you. And you honored this appointment specifically to inform me of the news? Yes. We are here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person. Tell me your Japanese are people of thorough courtesy. I see that it's true. And there is nothing but regret that I must inform you that the death of the young lord means the study of Torah Ridge can no longer proceed. If you just hear us out, Lord Strongheart. What do you have to say, madam? It's about the study tour. Mr. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal. Would he now? Well, Mr. Naruhodo, this is it then. The moment of truth. Continuing the study tour. The thing is, Lord Lord Strongheart, I was wondering if perhaps you would consider allowing me to study tour to go ahead. Don't misunderstand me. Britain would ideally like to see the tour go ahead, but without a lawyer from your country, there's nothing to be done. Well, in that case, what if there was someone else, another lawyer from Japan, I mean? Ah! Oh, I see now. Is there something I don't know? Only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country, and that was Mr. Asogi. At least, that is what I would like to understand. Well, the thing is, this really isn't going well at all. I just can't seem to find the right words to say this. Mr. Naruhodo, I could ruin things here if I'm not careful. What am I going to say? There's someone else here who could... It's me. It's me. I can do it. Is that so? I mean, I don't actually have any qualifications as such, but no qualifications to say, and yet you still claim to be a lawyer. I have acted as a lawyer in court before, only once, as it happens, and I had Kazuma there to help me, and I wasn't accused of glossing over the details. I've been spending every spare moment on the journey here to Great Britain studying. I've learned all about British law and court proceedings while I was on board the SS Briria. The voyage from Japan is some 50 days, I believe. Not what you might call a full education. To become a qualified lawyer here in Britain, not only do you need a university degree in law, you must also complete several years of training. I realize it's a far too short a period of time, but I can't just go back to Japan. Kazuma, Mr. Soji's journey had only just begun. Coming here on his study tour was all he thought about. I have to carry on and do everything he planned to do. I know it must sound like I have some overly inflated opinion of myself, but I will do anything to prove that I have what it takes. Anything you could have set me. Just one chance. That's all I'm asking for. Please. 31 seconds. Sorry? Your opening statement there, Mr. Naruhodo, was 31 seconds long. Not too brief, not too perfect. A perfectly judged appeal, I would say, which is a skill that would stand you in good stead as a lawyer. Oh, thanks. So, you're willing to put those words to the trial, are you? Well, I'm all for entertainment. Huh? But let me ask you one thing first, sir. Yes. You say you intend to do everything Mr. Sogi planned to do, Are you firmly set on that path? Uh-oh. Oh, so he knows. Okay, so he knows what his goal was. He did everything Mistress had planned to do. Are you firmly set on that path? Well, yes, that's my intention. I see. Am I imagining things? Or does he seem to know? Or did he express and just alter a fraction there all of a sudden? Fine. Very well. You have your wish. I'll give you a chance. But a test to become a specially certified lawyer, whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you. Really? Test. What's this test? So, what form will the test take exactly? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo. What do you consider the role of a lawyer to be? Well, defending people, of course. Well said. So, let's have you defend someone. Let's have you defend someone. Huh? There's a case. Your timing is perfect. In fact, there's an app trial about to begin later today. No advocate has been appointed for the defense as of yet, so this will be a welcome news. Today? Straight away. If you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you'll have passed my test. What could be simpler? How do I get myself into these situations? Well, could I ask, what sort of trial is it, Lord Strongheart? Murder. Yes. Good question. I remember. It's murder. It's a murder trial. Murder? An extremely simple case, I understand. You really can't lose. That's easy to say, but I should mention, just in case, if the defendant is found guilty, he will, of course, be sentenced to capital punishment. Capital punishment? He'll be put to death? Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows without exception. Presumably, you read that much in your short, deep-based introduction to British law. We can't possibly agree to such a test. We would be toying with a man's life. I am the Lord Chief Justice, and I've decided that it's acceptable. But you can't do that, can you? Or, There's no need to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure that you don't lose. So then, the defendant may live or die, depending on how well I perform in court. If I lose, he'll be hanged. Master Naruhodo, you come to me claiming to be a lawyer. If you want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do a lawyer's job. And you say you intend to see you through with the will of your compatriot, Mr. Asoki. I would like to understand just how far you're willing to go in order to make that happen. He's testing my resolve. What's the matter? You've fallen silent. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. The trial begins shortly. I need an answer from you now. What's it to be? I'll do it. What do I say? Do I agree to do this thing? I'll do it. Gotta. All right then. If I had to give you a decision now, my answer is I can't do it. I can't get the words out. 15 seconds. Your decision making needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That was too slow. So, it's as I suspected. Is it? Sorry? You have noble intentions, but lack the resolve to see them through. This test is canceled. Thank you for stopping by. You go and acquire your ticket for passage back to the east tomorrow. This conversation is over. Yes, Lord Strongheart. Thank you for offering me a chance. Mr. Naruhodo, I'm sorry, Miss Susato, but what could I do? It's all right. I understand. You do? It's not an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. The resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it. What are you trying to say, madam? I think that what Miss Susato means is that no matter how bad you like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his own one and only chance of the trial so trivially would be utterly unforgivable, and I feel exactly the same way. So saying yes was the wrong answer. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial test as some kind of experiment. Good answer. A lawyer may fight for his clients in court day after day, but for each one of those clients, it's life or death. A particular day they stand in the dock may be the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do the job yet. I'm sorry for wasting your precious time. Lord Chief Justice. Wait, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, was there something else? That was a fine answer. It's approximately 20 minutes by carriage to the Old Bailey from here. If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time. But I just said that I was quite serious in what I told you. The defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him. What? At this point, he can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. And if that happens, there's only one possible outcome. So not really putting, there is literally no one else but you. So that's what he meant. There's no one else but you. So he will receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down. But that's awful. But that is the truth. Why does it have to be like this? Please don't expect an answer. Please don't expect an answer to every question. The cold hard truth of the matter is that there is only one person now with a chance to save this man from a very miserable end. That is you, and that is you. I'm really his only hope. So, what do you say now, madam? Me? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart? You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances, and I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve. Oh. Our time is up here. I have a meeting to attend. Deputy Chief Anderson, I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So, venture into our great city and enjoy yourselves. He's gone. The Old Bailey. We gotta go. If we're going to do this, Mr. Naruhodo, we must leave at once. Okay. Now, okay, let's... okay, that's gonna be it for now. Whew. I'm gonna go. I think it's a good stopping point. We can continue tomorrow. So yeah, as always, thank you for coming out to the stream. If you like what you saw, consider leaving a like. Follow me on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, or X, the everything app. I like to say, for stream updates and bad tweets, and hopefully I will see you in the next stream. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.